The movie begins with a structural engineer John Garrity, his estranged wife, Allison, and their diabetic son, Nathan, who are living in Atlanta. The world is on edge as they await the anticipated flyby of a comet named Clark. We see the Garrity family together, preparing for a neighborhood party to watch the comets fly by. Allison asks John to buy certain things from the store. His son, Nathan, accompanies him. At the market, John receives a presidential alert on his phone, which leaves him visibly surprised and concerned. The alert informs him that his family has been pre-selected for sheltering during the comet event. On his way back, he notices a lot of military vehicles heading towards the border. The family, along with their neighbors, watches the news, expecting to witness a once-in-a-lifetime celestial event. Instead, they are shocked to learn that the comet fragments are causing significant destruction worldwide. Just as the first fragments start hitting Earth, John rushes outside to see the shockwave of the comet's impact. Coming back, he receives the presidential alert again, this time displayed on his TV. This revelation adds tension between the neighbors. They hurriedly pack their belongings and leave on the journey to the Air Force Base. They notice the panic and chaos unfolding around them. On their journey they come across a traffic jam, having them continue on their feet. As the Garrity family arrives at the Air Force Base, they encounter a chaotic scene with a large crowd of people trying to enter the base. The military personnel is strictly controlling access, only allowing those with presidential alerts to pass through. The family goes through a security check, but Nathan's insulin is accidentally left behind in the car. John frantically rushes back to the vehicle, desperate to retrieve the life-saving medication for his son. Meanwhile, Allison and Nathan anxiously wait, hoping that John will return quickly and they can continue the evacuation process. However, during his absence, Allison and Nathan have been informed that Nathan is ineligible for evacuation due to his medical condition. Feeling helpless, Allison begs the higher-ranked soldier to let her son board. The lieutenant denies her request, demanding her to leave the base. John boards a plane with the hopes that his family is already there. As the doors close, he gets informed that people with chronic diseases are not allowed to fly. He demands to open up the gates so he can go after his family. At this time, the people waiting outside manage to breach the military base. In the middle of this chaos, they shoot toward a gas leakage, making a plane explode, causing a huge massacre, and even destroying the nearby planes. Allison notices that her son's insulin level is low, so she decides to stop by a pharmacy and then go to her dad. Since the signal is not available, she left a note behind to inform John. On their way out from the pharmacy, they encounter a group of rebels causing a disturbance. Luckily, one of them helps them to get out safely. A strange couple, named Ralph and Judy, decided to help out Allison and her son with a ride up north, closer to her dad's place. John continues his desperate journey to reunite with his family. He comes across a truck stop where he sees a truck that's about to head towards Canada. During the long drive, John and Colin exchange stories about their loved ones and the devastating impact the comet has had on their lives. This shared experience creates a bond between them as they navigate through the chaotic and dangerous landscape together, both driven by hope and love for their families. Collins informs John about military shelters in Greenland, designed to protect a select group of people from the worst of the comet's impact. He also tells him about a plane waiting in Canada to get people to the bunkers. John's wristband catches the attention of the others in the truck. The wristband signifies John's pre-selected status for sheltering during the comet event, a rare privilege. Without warning, John is suddenly attacked by the other passengers, who attempt to forcefully take his wristband. Caught off guard and outnumbered, John desperately fights back, doing his best to protect himself and the wristband. Despite his efforts, the situation quickly escalates into a violent struggle, leaving behind a carnage. John manages to escape the truck, bruised and battered but still in possession of his wristband. He continues his journey towards Lexington, where he hopes he reunites with his family. Meanwhile, Ralph sees that Allison and her son are wearing the wristbands that grant access to the planes. Ralph suddenly stops the truck and forces Allison out of the vehicle at gunpoint. He tells her that he and Judy are taking Nathan with them, as they believe having a child increases their chances of being allowed into a shelter. Allison watches as the truck speeds away with Nathan still inside. Luckily, a car that is heading towards the same airport, in Knoxville, picks up Allison. As Ralph and Judy continue driving with Nathan in the truck, they arrive at a makeshift roadblock set up by the authorities. When it is their turn to be checked, Ralph and Judy attempt to pass off Nathan as their grandchild to improve their chances of getting through. He tells the officer that Ralph and Judy are not his parents, revealing the truth about their deception. The officer steps in to help Nathan and escorts the couple out of the base. Allison arrives at the airport, determined to find her son. She begins searching the airport, scanning the crowds of people for any sign of her son or husband. As she makes her way through the airport, she asks passers-by if they have seen a young boy fitting Nathan's description, hoping that someone might have information on his whereabouts. Huge relief when a medical officer helps Allison to find her son. A nurse helps them to reach Lexington, her father's place, with a military bus. Upon arriving, the family shares an emotional reunion, embracing each other tightly, after the harrowing experiences they have each endured. Allison's father, witnessing this heartfelt moment, is visibly moved by the love and strength of the family bond. The family realizes that they must continue to work together to find a way to survive the impending comet impact. John remembers his fellow friends' plan to Greenland and decides to make their way to the aircraft, knowing that it is their best chance at survival. With time running out, they tried convincing her father to come along. He already made his decision, and accepted his fate, refusing to join their journey. As they travel along the road, they come across a massive traffic jam. Suddenly, it is announced on the radio that a comet is approaching. People are visibly anxious and desperate, trying to flee from the imminent disaster. As fragments of the comet hit the Earth, they cause massive explosions, shaking the ground. They navigate the chaotic traffic jam, avoiding debris and dodging other panicked people attempting to flee. They barely make it out alive, with a few burns due to John trying to save others in need. As they approach the aircraft, they spot that the planes are already leaving. They barely manage to cut in front of a plane to force them to stop. The pilot seems angry at first, informing them that the aircraft is already at full capacity. Left with no other choice, the pilot has to take them in, otherwise, John wouldn't have moved the car. The aircraft carrying the Garrity family and the other passengers ascends into the sky, and a collective sigh of relief reverberates through the cabin. After facing countless obstacles and life-threatening situations, they finally found a chance at safety together. Inside the dimly lit cargo hold, the family huddles close together. As the plane descends, the details of the landscape become more distinct. The sunlight reflects off the pristine ice, casting a shimmering glow over the land, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere. They suddenly find themselves in the midst of a meteor shower. The fiery debris from the comet enters the Earth's atmosphere, creating a spectacular but deadly display in the sky around them. A powerful shockwave from a nearby meteor impact rocks the aircraft. The plane shudders violently, and the passengers are thrown off balance, gripping their seats tightly as they brace themselves for the turbulence. The skilled pilots battle to regain control of the damaged aircraft, fighting against the overwhelming forces of the meteor shockwave. Their efforts pay off, and the plane stabilizes, with considerable damage, losing both of the engines. They have to make an emergency landing, crashing into a mountain. Unfortunately, the pilots died in this procedure. Time is running out since it is believed that a massive meteorite will soon strike Earth again, causing massive destruction. The Garrity family and the passengers of the plane run towards the military base. They are spotted by military forces, guiding them towards the entrance of the underground safety bunkers by military personnel. As they approach the massive, reinforced doors, the meteorite is visibly heading down on Earth, with just minutes left before the impact. The air is thick with anticipation and anxiety, as they know that they are now at the mercy of these subterranean shelters. Once inside, they are directed to their assigned living quarters, where they will reside for the duration of the cataclysmic event. As the family settles into their new surroundings, they take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey that has led them here. They are keenly aware of the sacrifices made and the challenges overcome to reach this point, and they cling to one another, grateful for their love and unity. The scene then shifts to the surface, showing the aftermath of the impact of the comet. The final scene is a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of love and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. The film concludes on a note of hope, as the survivors eventually emerge from the bunkers after 9 months, ready to face a dramatically altered world and rebuild their lives. What would you do if you knew that in 24 hours the world is going to end?